back to TV 18. Big thanks to Cooper Creek Square. Our studio is located here, and lots of shops and restaurants, including Mountain Grind, which is where my coffee comes from. And you walked in today with some gelato.
A big espresso gelato that I just finished.
Which is delicious.
Oh,
Good way to start your day or end your day or whatever you're looking for. So again, Mountain Grind right here in Cooper Creek Square. Go check them out for lots of different things. Jane Tollett's visiting us, District 1 County Commissioner. So you went from being very involved in water, and now you are county commissioner. So what does that transition look like? Why did you want to get into politics, and what does that look like a little bit more on a general level?
I didn't get into it because I wanted to get into politics. Perhaps rather naively, but I knew after living here for 8-9 years that there were some issues in Grand County. Every place has got them. And I just thought I could do a good job.
Make an impact on some things.
It's a way of giving back to the community. I feel that people in business and science can do this. It's not that you want only us, but as a person who lives here, I thought this was something I could do to help with some of these issues that are facing the county.
Okay. And it's a team of 3 of you.
Yes.
So District 1 is what you represent, and that's, can you generalize what that is in the county?
It's pretty much from Berthoud Pass, a little bit past Tabernash, encompassing Winter Park, Fraser, and the Tabernash areas.
Okay. And then District 2 is?
Grand Lake, Granby, a little bit surrounding that, up to Hot Sulphur, if I understand correctly. And then beyond that is District 3. To Kremling and the border there of Grand County.
Got it. Okay, so some good teamwork happening between the 3 of you, and all about that, and making decisions and challenging each other. And
it is, and it's been great. They've been, the other commissioners have been wonderful to work with.
Yeah, good.
And we do look at it as being a team and looking at what is best for Grand County.
Right. And as a person living here, I can vote for all 3. It's not just the district I live in. So specifically, are you more in tune with District 1? Is that kind of the point of the districts? Or what? Tell me why there are 3. Or what would be the benefit of you representing District 1?
Well, it's important to understand the issues that are going on in your district so that when you're looking at issues that are countywide, you make sure that the concerns and needs of your district get considered. So you're coming from it as, hey, this is what's happening in these 3 towns, and this and this. And it's been some learning. There's been some learning curves. You know exactly what are all the issues. And you think you know them all because you're living here. But maybe not. Maybe you understand the issues of one small group and not another group.
So really taking a step back and looking at it from a town-wide. And majorly, I think that's how I want to say that, you're in charge of financial responsibilities.
As commissioners,
as a commissioner,
We're the leaders.
So Grand County has money, and you guys can decide what to do with it.
Yes and no. Well, the budget is set. The budget is set in the fall. And so the responsibility right now is to make sure we're executing the budget correctly. So we're always looking for ways to save money. We just have gone through an interim rebudgeting. I guess that's not a good way to put it. But the county had some issues last year with budgeting, people making some claims that sky is falling, this and that. And sometimes it's good to hear those things, right or wrong, and it does cause you to give it more attention. There were a lot of cuts made last year, a lot of spending slowed down, people worked hard. But the budget that was approved and sent to the state still had us at a $5.7 million deficit from projected income. With other cuts that were made, we're down to about a $4 million deficit. And then we asked all the departments to come back to us by about the middle of March with savings they could make. You know, we said, hey, a target would be 23%. That would be great. Some can, the bigger departments. We've got departments of one person. And that's but everybody tried. I know well over $1 million. I'm not sure exactly how much because the numbers are still getting processed. We're spending, what that means is that we'll be spending from the reserves, which are over $14 million at this budget.
Always, right?
Yes. We're not going to enter bankruptcy. We don't have that option. And my goal, and again, I'm working with 2 other people, would be to get there next year if possible, or at least draft it out and see what is this going to look like.
when you do budget planning, is it really, okay, this is the immediate next year, or is it 5 years out? What does that kind of look like in budget planning? Okay.
There's a certain base we know is going to happen. But we do look. The accounting department is great. They've created some super tools for us that we look at on every 2-week basis. We look at the projections, and we're also looking at a month-to-month top of the budget line. They have some great sheets that allow us to tell at a glance our department's over or under. Sometimes there's good reason, because sometimes there's expenditures that happen early in the year. Sometimes those are happen in the end of the year. But at least we're looking at it on that basis, and we can a little more aware of the spending. But again, people have done a great job. People did such beautiful budget efforts and put so much thought.
And kind of all of those cuts, and what does that look like?
Right now, the goal is to provide close to the same level of service. We're hoping to keep doing that. The reality is, we will see when we see what does a balanced budget look like, and how quickly will we have to get there. Because my understanding is, for a county of our size, we ought to be keeping reserves of about 20%, which is in the $8 million range. Is that right for us? We have to keep looking at that. Should we go lower? Maybe not. Should we maybe be higher? Maybe that's a better place for us to be. So we're going to continue having these discussions this year, so we make the best educated decision possible.
A big thing that's affected you guys is the Henderson mine closing, correct?
It's not closed yet.
The mill.
But the mill is in Grand County. The mine is in Clear Creek.
So that closure, or the announcement of, So that's been a huge effect. Has that been the biggest?
Right now, it's one of the biggest things we're looking at. Folks have seen it coming. They have started to work it into the budget before this year. It's tough. They've been a great community partner. You know, the grants that they've donated and the money they have donated to the community is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions over the years. I know at GC Win they donated $10,000 a year to us. It was a big part of our budget. You know, they do a lot of scholarships. I mean, for a teeny tiny nonprofit, that was a big part of the budget. They're helping right now with economic development and a number of any funds. They donate to the state severance tax. A lot of that money comes back from those industries. You don't even know it. You may be walking on it. Something that they contributed to. So, you know, not to mention the jobs that they've provided. So we're trying to be fair. We're trying to be reasonable. We're trying to help a partner. But
definitely a high topic of discussion.
It is.
And
it's
what's
tough.
happening in the county right now. So. Okay, we're going to take another quick break. After it, we're going to talk about broadband and your stance on it and what you want to do to the county to make it better. So,
Good Morning Grand County is brought to you by
Mountain Grind Coffee and Bistro, where smiles are guaranteed.